something tangible to really fall back to. And apart from that, we should also know that Natasha has gone above. She has gone up the issue of sex harassment. I don't know if it is a scandal or it is an allegation or maybe truth. Until otherwise proven, no one can actually say what that allegation is all about. She has gone farther than Nigeria, left the Senate, and she has gone to UN. And of course, as a matter of fact, the case is under investigation as we speak. The UN, the authorities have said, we won't tell you anything categorically what we are going to do right now because we need to hear from the other party. The Senate president is the one involved, and you know who the Senate president is. About the third person in the country, the president, the vice president, you have the Senate president. And as a matter of fact, this office is not a small office. But one thing that some Nigerians like Saraki, the former senator, is concerned about is the institution, not even the individuals involved in this crisis, in this saga, in this gang, because as a matter of fact, the institution needs to be one very major thing about the institution. Let me tell you, the National Assembly, in case you don't know, is being held at a very high esteem because majority of the decisions that are being taken in the runnings of this country as a nation comes from there. You know, even the president, remember, before the budget was even passed, it has to go through the National Assembly. Before bills are being passed, it has to go through the National Assembly. Committees have been set up to look at other areas, other ministries. You know, it virtually, the National Assembly supervise the major assignments of the country. Things that will affect you and I, the average Nigerians, actually happens from the National Assembly. So a lot of people, not just in Nigeria, even outside the shores of this country, hold the National Assembly at a very high esteem. But what are we getting right now? Well, the suspension is for 6 months, and according to Natasha, security aids been withdrawn, her salary, her allowances, everything being withdrawn, and she shouldn't address herself as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria anywhere, and she shouldn't ever come near the National Assembly for any reason throughout this period of suspension. And as a matter of fact, some Nigerians are concerned not about Natasha, but about the Kogi Central people, the good people of Kogi Central, whom Natasha is representing. What will happen to them this period? What will happen to the constituency projects that are supposed to be carried out this period of 6 months? Well, so many things. Some person said, hey, this is something that can be settled within. You don't need to go out. This is something that can actually be settled. The president can actually come in, or maybe some other persons can actually come in. The elders, the stakes, the people that have stakes, the elder statesmen can actually come in, and this issue is being resolved amicably, so we don't wash our leanings outside for a lot of people to see. That's some school of thought. That's what some persons believe, and some other Nigerians are saying, if you go on social media, you see a lot of reactions, and wow, I don't know, the era of social media in this 21st century, I don't know if it is for good. If the social media has done us more good than harm, I can't really ascertain right now. I think that decision is left to you to make. But for me, a lot happening on the social media. Whatever that gets to the social media, before you know it, millions of people are seeing it all over the world. Not just Nigeria, but all over the world. People are seeing it all over the world. And I don't know, this issue that has to do with the National Assembly has been seen in so many places, but the truth needs to be told. The truth needs to be told. What needs to be done the right thing that needs to be done should be done, especially from people whom much is given and from whom much is also being expected. You know what it means to be a member of the National Assembly? Someone said, Itagira said something. Former senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria said something. That is Senator Itagira. She said, well, as a woman, if you get to the National Assembly, you are no longer a woman because you are also equal with every other person that is there, apart from the Senate President, who presides over the affairs and leads the affairs of the National Assembly. That it's not all about gender, that gender should be dropped aside. And a lot of people say so many things. Some persons are saying this is just about sitting position, but Natasha is trying to say it is not just about sitting positions alone, that something has led to something that has led to something which is yet to be proven. Until otherwise proven, it stands as an allegation. Moving away from there, are you aware that a lot is happening in the polity? The former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, Nasir El-Rufai, has left APC for SDP. But then, what do you have to say about the issue of cross-carpeting? Are we going to continue having people recycling? I don't know. The politics in Nigeria has to do with a lot of recycling. The same people. You see people, that's why some people said politics in Nigeria is more like a career. Because by the time somebody becomes a local government chairman, the next thing the person is thinking is, how do I get to the state assembly? Or maybe become a governor, or become a House of Rep member, or become a senator, or become a minister. That is how people think. But it is the truth, and this is just the truth, that politics is not a career. It's not a career, it's a path. Right? It's just a path that people tread. That's why you see a lot of people, you see some persons, they are doctors, they are contesting, some persons are lawyers, like the FCT minister, you know his profession, right? He is a politician by I don't know, by interest, or I don't know the words to use, but he is a lawyer. He is a lawyer, and we have a lot of people like that who actually have their careers, something they are pursuing, but then they venture into politics. And people get into politics for different reasons. You know the reasons yourself, so you can actually attest to what I'm saying. All right, it is Global Morning on Global Television this beautiful Thursday morning. It is a throwback of Thursday, and of course, I just decided to take you through some of the things, the stories making round, and some of the follow-up to those stories. And today, we will be looking at the national newspaper. What are the dailies saying? What are the big stories that you deserve to know? Yeah, we are bringing it to you this morning. Just sit back and relax, okay? You can take maybe your coffee, take your cup of tea, just put it in front of you. You can cross your leg and just keep watching Global Television this morning, because we have so much lined up for you. Of course, we have so much lined up for you, and we have two very major conversations today. Time will fail me to talk about the insecurity situations in Nigeria or Benue State. What's happening? Crisis everywhere. Benue State, you know, the header and farmers clashes, the guerrilla attack by some unknown gunmen and everything. Lives, I don't know, but as it is right now, if you want to talk about people losing their lives in Benue State, some persons will look at it as just something normal, something usual. People are getting used to it, which is not supposed to be. We're talking about human lives here. So we'll be looking at insecurity, an assessment, an overview of the security situation in Nigeria. How far were we able to go so far with the chiefs and the security operatives and the vigilantes, and you too, because you are also security conscious these days. So everyone is the security of his own immediate environment. I will be looking at that as part of our conversations today, and we'll also look at the crisis, party inter-crisis in the political parties? How is it affecting governance? The distractions, the things happening in River State, the one in Edo State, the issue of go to court and all of that, the issue of National Assembly sagas, so many things happening, distracting people from governance, and this thing keeps affecting the average Nigerians who are out there, who are at the mercy of the decisions and policies of government. We'll look at that too as part of our conversation today, and of course experts will be joining us on the conversation. Now it's time for us to look at the national dailies, and don't also forget that at 8 a.m. at top of the hour we'll be bringing you the AM news. Now we'll go on a quick break. After this break we'll return and we'll look at the pages of the national dailies. Stay with us.
Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
A Global Morning aims to deliver newspaper reviews and latest news with experts on key global issues,
and at the same time keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Mondays to Sundays to a wide range of the latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being part of Global Morning today. And of course, let's take you to the national dailies. What are the papers saying this morning? On the Punch newspaper this morning, we have this headline above the nameplate, which says, Tinubu overrules Akande panel, backs Obasa to remain speaker. Details read on page 14, and you can see the picture, a story right there with Obasa smiling, meaning you people don't even know what's going on. I knew what I was doing, and he's got the backing of the president right here. And you should remember that he has been there, not just the first time he's been there. All right, moving away from there, let's also look at this one. That's the big story right here, which says Lagos Calabar Highway project wasteful and corrupt. Coming from Obasanjo. Obasanjo said Lagos Calabar Highway project wasteful and corrupt. We're talking about His Excellency, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2 times president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, said the Lagos Calabar Highway project is wasteful and is corrupt. That's Obasanjo talking. I know anytime Obasanjo is speaking, it comes with a lot of weight, because some people feel anytime he speaks, he doesn't talk all the time. Since he wrote that book, he's been quiet for a while, but anytime he speaks, he doesn't talk all the time. So anytime he speaks, people look at it careful. People do a lot of analysis. And this is for some of the reason. One writer to that story, he says Tinubu ignored protests against 15 trillion naira coastal highway project, failed 21 billion naira spent on VP residents. These are things that should be looked at according to Olusegun Obasanjo. So these are things that should be looked at, but then those ones are being ignored, and attention is on Calabar Highway project that's wasteful and corrupt. All right, let's move away from there. And this one says, Natasha, IPU can't summon Akpabio, says spokesman. Said IPU cannot summon Akpabio. Alright, Ondo killings, survivors recount ordeals. Ayedatiwa pledges tight security. And moving away from there, PDP crisis, that's the kicker. Wike camp kicks as Ikimi panel recommends Anyanwu's expulsion. All of that you can find on the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's move from the Punch newspaper and get to the next story that we have from the Blueprint newspaper this morning. On the Blueprint newspaper, above the nameplate, reduction in fuel price, low customers demand slow inflation. Low customer demand slow inflation. This is coming from Rewani. He said reduction in fuel prices, low customers demands low inflation. Details read on page 21 of the Blueprint newspaper. Pinnick loses FIFA Council seat re-election. He didn't get it the second time. The former NFF president is the one we're talking about right here. And then this one says Abuja sex workers lose legal battle over business rights. Abuja sex workers lose, they lost legal battle over business rights. They lost that battle. All right, that's that. Then this one says the Dangote refinery expands global crude sourcing. Details read on page 23. Tinubu wades into Lagos Assembly crisis, meets Obasa and Mirinda. Then now to the big story on the Blueprint newspaper this morning, and this one says Senate summons security chiefs, urges intervention in Gwe West. Very important. That's Gwe West in Benue State. Gwe West in Benue State is actually known as a red zone. It's a red spot. I could remember there was a time we went there for a function, for an assignment, an official assignment, not from Global Television anyway, official assignment before I actually joined Global Television. And it was amazing that everyone assigned to Gwe West was scared of going, because of the insecurity situations there, the abduction, the kidnapping, the killings and everything. So it is good that the security chiefs have been summoned by the Senate, urging them to intervene in what is happening in Gwe West. And one rider to that story, it says, Akpoti Oduahan's suspension has no link with sexual harassment claim. All right. That's the big story right there. And you can find that on the Blueprint newspaper. This one says, 24 hours after Pandef Villa visit, Rivers lawmaker lock out Fubara. Some writers to that story, and the first writer say House faults governor's claim, ex-Pandef spokesman ink kick. All right, nothing will happen if impeached. Wike is the one talking to Fubara. He said, Fubara, nothing will happen if you are being impeached. That is the FCT minister speaking right there. Meaning, the crisis is not over yet. Sometimes you take some things into consideration before certain things are being done. Let's go to River State a little bit and see what is happening in River State. As a matter of fact, the fight between, I don't know who the fight is even between. Is it Fubara and Wike, or Fubara and the lawmakers? But because as it is right now, Fubara is ready to make peace. He said, all right, I will implement, I have accepted the judgment from the court. Now, let's get to the round table and do the needful. But then a lot of talks have been coming on. The refusal to meet with him, all right, and the rejection of his budget. Then this morning we are hearing that if he's been impeached, nothing will happen, coming from the Senate president. Not the Senate president, I beg your pardon, the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike. All right, that's that. Then this one says, police, FCT police neutralize kidnap kingpin, Dogo Sale. FCT police neutralizes kingpin, that's kidnap kingpin, Dogo Sale. Details read on page 6. Jigawa trains 160 young women in waste recycling. Lassa fever, that's the kicker. Nigeria records 29 new cases. Death toll rises to 100. And I have this one, which is going to be the last from the Blueprint newspaper this morning, and it says, it says, NNPCL to global investors, reforms turning Nigeria into investor heaven. Oh my God, this is good for me. All right, this is good for me. NNPCL to global investors, reforms turning Nigeria into investor heaven. All right, that's good. That's good news. Let's just see how all of that is going to go. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with what the papers are saying.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
A Global Morning aims to deliver newspaper reviews and latest news with experts on key global issues.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Mondays to Sundays to a wide range of the latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Welcome back from that break. It is still what the papers are saying. The newspaper review this morning is taking a different turn altogether because a lot of very beautiful stories that we have on the national dailies, and we are trying to bring you to speed because you deserve to know. You need to be brought to speed with every of the headlines. Reason says local government fund APC kick as Osun government introduces council chairman to AG and CBN. Then Reason says Access Bank champion stronger alliance to propel intra-African trade at ATC. Details read on page 13. And now to the big story. A Lagos Assembly crisis. Tinubu brokers peace. Tinubu brokers peace. Lawmakers, and he's urging lawmakers to support Obasa's leadership. I take that again. Lagos Assembly crisis. Tinubu brokers peace. Urges lawmakers to support Obasa's leadership. Just one rider to that story. Lawmakers express loyalty to Tinubu as Obasa. Miranda keep mum on meeting. Now on page 3, Governor Makinde commiserates with Troda over alleged Lowe market fire and promises support. 2025 budget presentation. No matter what they claim, I won't abuse my power. Fubara is the one making that statement. Governor Nnamdi uncovers 4.8 billion naira Ramadan feeding scandal in Dulce, orders probe. And of course, that's from the Nigerian News Direct newspaper this morning. As I quickly go through the next paper, let's flip through the next paper, which is of course the Nation's newspaper. What's happening from the Nation's newspaper this beautiful Thursday morning? It is the 13th day of March 2025, and on the Nation's newspaper, ONSA to arrested IED manufacturer. One rider to that story, U.S. Center for Nigeria. You can see Ribardo's picture is right there. Tinubu's reform attracted $17 billion investment in 2024. One of the major things that the president did in 2024 was to woo investors, and that has yielded results. In 2024, we have a very big sum of money, 17 billion naira investment in 2024. All right, this one says Rivers log jam. That's the kicker. No truce yet between Fubara and lawmakers. Then one rider to that story, and the rider says brick hats over budget presentation. All this drama coming from Rivers State. I don't know if anyone is even thinking about the people themselves, the people who are supposed to be governed, the people who are entitled to good governance. It is their right as citizens to be governed well. And that's why they said democracy is government of the people, not government of a selected few, but government of the people for the people and by the people, meaning the people need to select who they want to be their leader, and everything has to be about the people, and whatever that is being done should be for the people. That's what democracy is. But we are yet to see the true demonstration of democracy in Rivers State and some other states in Nigeria. Even in Benue State, it's been a lot going on. All right, a lot going on because of party differences, individual differences, individual interests, and so many things going on. Even the header attacks. Is this some form of distraction, or there is nothing that can be done about it? Oh, we have a barrack in Benue State. The 72 Airborne Battalion is right there at North Bank. We have a lot, and that's not all. But then the governor is there. He's the #1 chief security of the state. He can also plead for assistance if this thing is beyond just the state. So we need to look at whether or not the people who have been elected by the masses, Nigerians, are really having the time to govern them, because the dividend of democracy is the right of every average Nigerian. So I don't know what's happening, but then whatever it is in Rivers State, I think peace needs to be given a chance. That's what it is. Peace needs to be given a chance. It shouldn't be all about selected few, an individual all the time. I think wisdom is needed right now. Let's apply wisdom, because if anything is too much, like some people will say, too much of everything is bad. We know, so Nigerians know what's playing out in Rivers State, because a lot of people are speculating so many things. And even this morning, Wike has come out to say, well, if Fubara is being impeached, nothing will happen. But then, what about the people of Rivers State? If nothing will happen to Fubara, what about the people of Rivers State? Remember, the youths were threatening violence some days back, and there was this news making round that people who are not from Rivers State should vacate the state. You know, so all of this will culminate into crisis and unrest, which will lead to improper governance. There won't be governance at all when the state is unrest. Why are you governing? So that's why we need to give peace a chance. Okay, Lula invites Tinubu to Brazil. Gain of president's economic policy by Shettima. Details you can find on page 2 on the Nation's newspaper. From the Nation's newspaper, let's quickly flip through the pages of the Nigerian Vanguard, the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Above the nameplate, we have of this headline, which says Nigeria spends $817.4 million to service debt in 2 months. That's massive. All right, death row inmates rise by 98 in 6 months. Prisons acting CG. Death row inmates rise by 98 in 6 months. A prison acting CG is the one lamenting that. Then this other story says 18 months after recall. That's the kicker. Federal government vetting candidates for ambassadorial post. Insecurity again. Senate summoned security chiefs. I think we saw it on the other paper where they said the summon is about Gwe West in Benue State, probably. All right, speakership tussle. Let Obasa be. Tinubu tells Lagos lawmakers. Details you can find on page 10. And now to the big story on the Vanguard newspaper, and it says Rivers. That's the writer to the story. Heavens kicker, heavens won't fall if Fubara is impeached. Wike is the one saying that. Then we have some riders to that story. The first rider says blast governor, says he's insincere, playing to gallery. Then other rider says attacks Pandef, worst organization to rely on. This one says notes for Bharat's later to Rivers Assembly useless and insincere. It says Fubara demolished Assembly complex, can't visit uninvited. And 27 lawmakers bar Fubara from entering Assembly to present budget, alleged improper communication. And then finally, Fubara, I am ready to represent budget. I am ready to represent budget. There is no big deal right there. I will present the budget once again, and I'm ready to do that. And then from the World of Sport this morning, Osimhen, we can't afford to miss World Cup again 2026. We can't afford to miss it in 2026. Remember, they've actually missed it before, and he's saying no matter what, we can't afford to miss it. That is a former African footballer of the year who is now on loan from Napoli to Galatasaray. All right, more headlines still coming this morning on Global Morning. This one is the Daily Trust newspaper, where it says 6 simple ways to beat extreme heat. The heat is something else. I don't know how it is in your location. The heat is something else. Maybe those who are sleeping in AC may not really know what others are going through. I bet a lot of people are going through so many things. Reps commence consideration of tax reform bills today. Again, Senate summons NSA service chiefs. Then the big story says we will defend Governor Fubara. Ijaw groups are the ones saying that, and that's where the problem is, because sometimes it's not all about Fubara but the people. Ijaw groups are rising that they will defend Fubara, and this may lead to chaos in the state if the right thing is not being done. Some riders to that story: how Assembly denied governor entry to present budget. Then number 2, no criminal if he is impeached. Not criminal if he's impeached. That's Wike saying. First of all, he said nothing will happen. If Fubara is being impeached, that's Wike. Then this paper said it is not criminal if Fubara is being impeached, according to Wike. Legal experts: only compromise can resolve deadlock. Legal experts are saying only compromise can resolve deadlock. That's in Rivers State. World Kidney Day. We spend over 150,000 on dialysis every week. Patients are the ones saying that. Sometimes you don't know what you are enjoying until you get to the hospital and see what people are going through. And that's part of the reason a lot of people would always want to say we need good health system. Healthcare is one very basic amenity that Nigerians need, especially in a country where you see people eat whatever they see, whatever they can afford. And some persons are living in the slum. Some persons, if you see their drinkable water, you will be surprised. Why wouldn't they have cholera? Why wouldn't they have problems, bacteria everywhere? Just because of the kind of environment and the kind of economy that we have at this time. But we hope that all of this improve and the health sector is being given more attention. And now finally, let's look at the last paper for today before we bring you the AM news. At the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. A fresh hurdle for Fubara as Assembly and Wike party insist on impeachment of Fubara. This one says a federal government developing database to track producers of IEDs and others. A Senate cites gross misconduct for Akpoti Odoahan's suspension, denies sexual harassment. And of course, this one says El-Rufai's hasty move rolls SDP as loyalist seek rejig of NWC. I take that again. El-Rufai's hasty move Roy's SDP as loyalist Sikh regime of National Working Committee, that is NWRC. FCT sex workers they lost fundamental rights suits to federal government. FCT sex workers they lost fundamental rights suits to federal government. Maybe if they are suing because they are always been I don't even need to talk about this, because I know this country will not condone selling your body in form of anything. Sex workers, I don't know. Is it as a result of unemployment? That's not the only thing you can do. Nigerians are very industrious people. I think we should think of something more lucrative and more better and more decent than being proud sex workers. Well, as it is, they lost the case, all right, the fundamental rights suit that they took to the federal government. Tinubu waits into Lagos Assembly crisis, meets lawmakers at Villa. Yeah, right. And of course, this on say probe panel questions, please. NDLEA on correctional facilities congestion. Power plants face shutdown as federal government pays only 20% of 1.9 trillion naira subsidy debt. And finally, from of course the Guardian newspaper this morning, this one says it's a co-descendant secure ruling against public viewing of gangs of Lagos. All right, and of course that's going to be the size of the headlines from the national dailies this morning. Right now it is 12 minutes before we get to the top of the hour, 8 o'clock, when we bring you to speed with the AM news. You need to know what is happening, and that's exactly what we will be doing at 8 o'clock. Stay connected and keep watching Global Television. We'll return with the AM news at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. Do stay with us.
know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world.
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
A Global Morning aims to deliver newspaper reviews and latest news with experts on key global issues.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and international.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Mondays to Sundays to a wide range of the latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning. know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
A Global Morning aims to deliver newspaper reviews and latest news with experts on key global issues.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Mondays to Sundays to a wide range of the latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to AM News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. President Bola Tinubu is in a closed-door meeting with the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Modasiru Obasa, and other lawmakers from the state. The meeting may not be unconnected with the recent leadership crisis in the State of Assembly. The Speaker, Modasiru Obasa, was impeached by some of his colleagues, but he was later reinstated after the intervention of the political leaders, especially the Governing Advisory Council. The Commonwealth Association of Nigeria has joined other member states to commemorate Commonwealth Day 2025, reaffirming its dedication to democracy, human rights, and global peace, inclusivity, and sustainable development. Kikelomo Okere reports.
Commonwealth Day is an annual celebration observed by millions across Commonwealth in Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, and Americas, the Pacific, and Europe. The events and activities taking place throughout the month of March include civic and faith gatherings, school assemblies, debates, flag-raising ceremonies, and cultural celebration. Stakeholders at the event call on the federal government of Nigeria to eradicate lack of peace and unity so as to enhance inclusivity and national development.
The main thrust of this lecture is the peace and unity of our nation. That the important thing is that every country has its own story. The difference between one country and another, the success of one country and the failure of another, and the difference in the choices they make. Whether choice of leadership, Nigeria is progressing, but not as a rate that ought to progress. Because all the countries that were poor alongside Nigeria in the 60s, they have all overtaken Nigeria. And the basic thing that we're having is this issue of lack of unity and lack of peace within Nigeria. Like I said,
I encourage every single Nigeria to have the courage to take bold steps to set aside those things that that divide us as a people, and bring those things that unite us as a people. Because when we are united, we will make stronger achievements together.
The core values of Commonwealth is peace, democracy, and good governance. And that's why all the speakers are talking about peace, how we can live together as one family under God. That is the core activities and core values of the
2025 Commonwealth Day, which is tagged Together We Strive, provide a critical opportunity to take stock of the national challenges, progress and expectation in both personal and community relationship. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Tertiary Education Trust Fund, that is TED Fund, has inaugurated a committee on alternative power supply to address electricity challenges in beneficiary institutions, ensuring improved learning and research environment. Jumaine Manson reports.
The availability of stable power is critical to the functionality of tertiary institutions, without which effective learning, research and innovation are significantly hampered. Chairman of the committee, retired Honorable Aminu Masari, highlighted the importance of the initiative, describing it as a strategic roadmap towards sustainable energy solutions.
The board is scheduled to assist tertiary institutions in meeting the power demands.
Retired Honorable Aminu Masari, Chairman, Alternative Power Supply Committee. Electricity has become a major challenge for tertiary institutions. This intervention by TED Fund is essential to ensuring that students and faculty members have access to reliable power for academic activities and research. Speaking on behalf of the committee, retired Honorable Sunday Adekboju assured stakeholders of the committee's commitment to executing its mandate effectively.
Getting down in our institutions because of the reason that has been stated by the chairman. On behalf of the members, as expected of us. Thank you.
As the committee begins work, expectations are high. That is, recommendations will lead to sustainable, cost-effective energy solutions for Nigeria's higher education sector. Jumai Manson reporting for Global TV News.
The Nigerian Senate has directed the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to comply with a Supreme Court ruling that mandates the restoration of Aniocha North State constituency in Delta State. The decision follows a motion forth by Senator Ned Nwoko, representing Delta North, emphasizing the necessity of adhering to the court's decision. Queen is here to bring us that report.
During Senate discussions, lawmakers voiced concerns that the constituency's suspension had deprived its residents of appropriate representation in the Delta State House of Assembly.
I rise to move the motion for the restoration of Aniocha North 2 State Constituency pursuant to Supreme Court judgment. The Senate notes that in 2014, the people of Idumujuno, Idumuchuboko, Okunzu, Uboba, Ibinogo, Ubodu, Ubulubu, and Yoma, I'm sure that sounds familiar, Ogodo towns in the Aniocha North local government area of Delta State initiated a legal action at the Federal High Court, Asaba, seeking the restoration of the Aniocha North 2 State Constituency. The abolition or suspension of certain state constituencies across the country has actually deprived the people of proper representation and caused a level of imbalance in the political equation of some of these states. And because INEC is a creation of the law, it is expected that once the court has ruled in favor of the restoration of suppressed constituencies, it should be taken as automatic.
Second North, we have only one constituency in that local government, state constituency in that local government, which is bigger than most other local government that has 2 or 3 constituencies. So we are in court, and the population supports that. So what he's saying is correct in most places, especially in Delta State, sir.
Once Supreme Court pronounces, you know better than I do, because as a lawyer, you know that. Once the Supreme Court make pronouncement, it's like making a law. So in this case, there's a pronouncement by the Supreme Court that this should be done. And once you have that done, you know that as a lawyer, that must be implemented.
In his remarks, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, stressed the importance of restoring the constituency before the next Delta State House of Assembly elections.
That the Independent National Electoral Commission complies with this resolution by ensuring that the restoration of Aniocha North 2 State Constituency of Delta State takes effect in the next House of Assembly election after the current life of the current Delta State House of Assembly, in compliance with Section 115 of the Constitution. Those in support of Resolution 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Senate therefore called on INEC to implement the Supreme Court's verdict without further delay. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
A Saudi-designated Nigerian Hajj air carrier, Flynas, has signed a Pilgrims Air-Regrived agreement with the Nigerian government for 2025 operations. This comes after Nigeria announces it would begin airlifting its pilgrim to Saudi Arabia on May 5th, 2025. The 2025 Hajj Pilgrims Airlift Agreement was signed by the Chief Commercial Officer of Flynas, Khalid Al-Hajairi, and the Chairman and CEO of National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Professor Abdullahi Saleh Uthman, at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. The Federal High Court in Makurdi has restrained the Benue State Elections Petition Tribunal from conducting its sitting at the Nigerian Bar Association headquarters or any other venue in Abuja. This follows an order of the Federal High Court served on members of the panel, stopping them from conducting any sitting. Felicity Ndere completes the report.
Following the relocation of the Benue State Local Government Elections Petition Tribunal to the Nigerian Bar Association headquarters in Abuja over allegations of insecurity at the Makurdi High Court complex, the Federal High Court Makurdi has given a restraining order stating that the appeal tribunal is to be held in Makurdi and nowhere else. Cancel to the respondents as well as the petitioners acknowledged receipt of the court order prohibiting the local government tribunal from sitting anywhere in Abuja.
In that order, sitting of the Benue State Local Government Election Tribunal and the Appeal Tribunal is to be conducted or held in Makurdi, so that whenever the arrangement is made, they will serve us hearing notice to go and sit in Makurdi.
Because of the court order, the members of the tribunal, some of them are High Court judges, they put heads together and they've addressed members, the council, the petitioners, and have resolved to revert to the Chief Judge of Benue State for the way forward. So if there is going to be security provided for us in Makurdi, nobody is prepared to take the trouble to come to Abuja.
Members of the panel, 3 panels, Zone A, B, and C, informed us that they are in receipt of a motion, a restraining order from the Federal High Court Makurdi and that they being judges themselves, they would not like to disobey the court order. So that being the case, we didn't sit.
They expressed optimism that this obstruction will not affect the 180-day duration for the Local Government Elections Petition Tribunal to conclude its proceedings. Felicity Ndere reporting for Global TV News.
Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has reaffirmed his commitment to the development of the state, urging leaders of Owerri Zone to remain united and focused on the collective good of the state. This comes as a high-power delegation led by Captain Emmanuel Iheanacho passed a vote of confidence on his administration. Correspondent Amarachi Ibe has more.
Seated at these Executive Council chambers are leaders and stakeholders from Owerri Zone, led by Captain Emmanuel Iheanacho of the Imo Harmony Project. Welcoming the delegation, Governor Hope Uzodinma appreciates their support and assured them of his administration's continued efforts to balance equity and competence in governance.
I must thank you for the wonderful accolades showered on me. I believe in the charter of equity, but like you said, the charter of equity is not to individuals. The charter of equity is to zones. Remember that the person I was supposed to succeed me must come from my party.
Leading the delegation, Captain Emmanuel Iheanacho commended the governor's developmental strides, particularly in road infrastructure, and pledged the continued support of Owerri Zone.
I'm here to tell you that you are doing absolutely excellent. Although Owerri and Okigwe, we note that our brothers in Owerri Zone have had the opportunity of producing the governor for nearly 20 years or more. Our brothers from Okigwe have had the opportunity of producing the governor for about 4 years. And in Owerri Zone, we have had the opportunity of contributing the governor for only 7 months. Charter of equity, which really dictates that we will be able to produce the governor on 2027. But come down here today, the ambition to all things have said to come and support that that we have said.
Some stakeholders also spoke on the importance of their visit to the governor.
We must thank Governor Hope Uzodinma for coming up with Charter of Equity. It simply means that power will rotate, because when it rotates, it will enhance peace, it will enhance unity, and above all, it will enhance progress.
The highlights of the meeting was a vote of confidence moved by Honorable Tochi Okere and seconded by Honorable Samuel Otibe, receiving unanimous approval.
Of this motion moved and seconded, say aye.
With this unanimous vote of confidence, Owerri Zone leaders have reinforced their commitment to the governor's vision for a more prosperous Imo State. From Government House Owerri, Amarachi Ibe reporting for Global TV News.
Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara was denied access to the official headquarters of the State House of Assembly along Aba Road, Port Harcourt, where lawmakers loyal to his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, have been holding their meetings and sittings. Fubara, who arrived at the complex in the company of top government officials, including the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Tammy Dangogo, and his Chief of Staff, Edison Ehie, met a locked gate, effectively preventing his entry. Speaking to journalists at the scene, the governor accused Speaker Martin Amauli of deliberately avoiding him, stating that several calls placed to the lawmaker went unanswered. The House of Representatives has called on all federal governments to immediately launch a nationwide diphtheria vaccination campaign in schools to curb the spread of the deadly bacterial infection. The House spokesman Akin Rotimi lamented the rise in cases of diphtheria, citing that from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control's weekly diphtheria situation report of January 2025, which recorded 24,804 confirmed cases across 25 states since 2022, with 1,269 deaths in 18 states. He also acknowledged the effort of the NCDC and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency in combating the disease. You're watching the live broadcast of the AM News. When the AM News returns, Imo State takes a bold step in digital transformation. We have those details from the world of business, as well as foreign and sports stories from you right after this break.
Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
In business, Imo State has taken a major step in its digital transformation journey with a strategic partnership between Imo Digital City and the U.S. Market Access Center, USMAC, a top Silicon Valley-based startup accelerator. The agreement aims to connect Imo's tech ecosystem with global opportunities, fostering innovation, investment, and job creation. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe reports.
A new era for Imo State digital economy, as Governor Hope Uzodinma and Chris Berry, Managing Director of USMAC, formalized a partnership set to position Imo Digital City on a global tech map. According to Governor Hope Uzodinma, the collaboration will provide training, knowledge transfer, and access to international investors, accelerating the state's digital growth.
With the signing of this agreement, we are moving on a very close to our digital industrialization program. What we are trying to do is to enable multinational companies with global level recognition to partner with Imo State in our determination to break jobs, to reduce youth recruitment.
For USMAC, this partnership reflects its commitment to expanding technology innovation beyond Silicon Valley, empowering startups and entrepreneurs in Imo State.
The governor's various, upskill initiatives, and our goal is to create a next generation of world-class startup founders here in Imo, because we have unbelievably high expectations of them. Our belief is that these people can create companies with new, innovative solutions that can not just solve the problems that are present here, but that are present across all of Nigeria, West Africa, all of Africa, and honestly the world.
With this milestone agreement, Imo State is not just embracing digital transformation, but taking bold steps towards an innovation-driven economy that will attract investment, create jobs, and drive technological advancement. From Government House Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Festus Keyamo says a committee will be set up to expedite the review of the existing bilateral air service agreement between Nigeria and Jamaica. Keyamo said this at a meeting with the Jamaican ambassador to Nigeria, Lincoln Dona, and his consular, Andrew Herbert, in Abuja. The aviation minister, in response, welcomed the ambassador's proposal and expressed his eagerness to take the next step. He further committed to visiting Jamaica if necessary, stating that he would be willing to travel to Jamaica to finalize and sign the BASA agreement in person. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has approved 1 billion naira in grant for 9,403 micro, small and medium entrepreneurs and enterprises in Biu and Howell local government area as part of the state government's economic empowerment initiatives. The initiative aims to boost local businesses, reduce poverty, and create employment opportunities in the region. Speaking at the inauguration of the disbursement exercise in Biu, Governor Zulum reaffirmed his administration's commitment to empowering small businesses and youth entrepreneurship as a strategic approach to fostering economic growth. And on the foreign scene, the United States will require Canadian visiting for more than 30 days to register with authorities. The Federal Register showed Wednesday toughening rules as trade tensions soar between the North American neighbors. The new requirement, effective from April 11, would harden enforcement of an existing law from which U.S. media said Canadian nationals have typically been exempt. It will likely impact the estimated 900,000 Canadians, known colloquially as snowbirds, who spend winter in warmer southern U.S. states such as Florida, Texas, and Southern Carolina. Pakistani security forces have freed 155 passengers from a hijacked train as the operation to rescue the remaining hostages continued in the southwestern province of Balochistan. The train, which was carrying around 450 passengers, including an army personnel and their families, was targeted by more than 100 gunmen from the separatist Baloch Liberation Army on Tuesday afternoon. Pakistani elite commandos, backed by air power, have launched a massive operation after the train was hijacked in the remote Sibi district. Local media reports that at least 10 people, including the train driver, were killed in the gun battle. Beijing's foreign ministry says China will host Russia and Iran for trilateral talks on Tehran's nuclear program on Friday. A foreign ministry spokesperson said the three parties will exchange views on the Iranian nuclear issue and other issues of mutual interest. During U.S. President Donald Trump's first term, which ended in 2021, Washington withdrew from the landmark deal that had imposed curbs on Iran's nuclear program in return for sanctions relief. And from the world of sport, a former Nigerian Football Federation president, Amaju Pinnick, has failed in his bid for re-election into the FIFA Council, missing out by just one vote. At the Confederation of African Football General Assembly in Cairo, Djibouti's Suleiman Wabiri secured the last available seat with 29 votes, edging out Pinnick, who managed 28. South African businessman Patrice Motsepe has secured a second term as the president of the Confederation of African Football after being re-elected unopposed. Motsepe, 63, who first assumed office in 2021, had announced his intention to seek re-election in October 2024. His second four-year term was officially confirmed during CAF's Extraordinary General Assembly meeting held in Cairo, with FIFA President Gianni Infantino in attendance. And that's it on AM News, coming to you live from Global Television. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigerian app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Ramsey Enoch. Thank you for watching.
Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
A Global Morning aims to deliver newspaper reviews and latest news with experts on key global issues.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Mondays to Sundays to a wide range of the latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.